Nityananda's appearance day. We're getting ready. Yeah, he's supposed to sing a song. You're going to play Mridanga, right? And somebody's going to play Karchals, right? So, Guru Tattva. You all know what is Guru Tattva. The truths of Tattva in relation to Lord Nityananda as the Adi Guru, and as is Balaram, the representative of Guru Tattva in Krishna's Leela. Nityananda is the representative of Guru Tattva, or the source of Guru Tattva in Lord Chaitanya's Leela. So look at this, there's a nice song in Bengali. And this is from Chaitanya Mangala, something that I've learned in the past preparing for all these classes, is the biographies about Lord Chaitanya. They're very, very similar. And some of them are simply written, like Chaitanya Mangala is written as songs. It's just the story is told through songs. And because the culture at the time was Bengalis like to sing. And so they sang, and they learned by singing. And, as opposed to reading, philosophical books, they just sang. So this is a song about the Lord Nityananda, who never becomes angry, Akrodha, Paramananda. So Jagatananda is going to lead us. The second sheet, second page, second slide is the translation. So I can read the translation. We can all try to follow along with Jagatananda. Lochandas Thakur. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda.
Abhimana Shunya Nitai Nagare Vedai. Abhimana Shunya Nitai Nagare Vedai. Abhimana Shunya Nitai Nagare Vedai. Abhimana Shunya Nitai Nagare. गीता जीवे द्वारे द्वारे गिया हरि नाम महामंत्र देनो भिलाइया 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 अक्रोधा परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अक्रोधा परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अक्रोधा परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अक्रोधा परमानंद नित्यानंद राय जारे देखे तारे कहे दांते त्रिनाधोरी 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 आमारा की नियलो बोलो गौर हरि 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 अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय, अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय, अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय, अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय। ये तो बोले नित्यानंद गादी जादे जाए, ये तो बोले नित्यानंद भूमे गादी जाए, ये तो बोले नित्यानंद भूमे गादी जाए, ये तो बोले नित्यानंद भूमे गादी जाए। सोनारा पर्वत जेनो धूला ते लोटाए, सोनारा पर्वत जेनो धूला ते लोटाए, सोनारा पर्वत जेनो धूला ते लोटाए, सोनारा पर्वत जेनो धूला ते लोटाए। अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय, अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय, अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय, अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय। हेनो अवतार यार रति ना जन्मीलो, हेनो अवतार यार रति ना जन्मीलो, हेनो अवतार यार रति ना जन्मीलो, हेनो अवतार यार रति ना जन्मीलो। लोचन बोले शे पापी लो हार गेलो, लोचन बोले शे पापी लो हार गेलो, लेचन बोले शे पापी लो हार गेलो, लोचन बोले शे पापी लो हार गेलो। अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय, अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय, अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय, अकरोधा परमानंदा नित्यानंद राय। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय।
The noble Lord Nityananda is never angry. That's the refrain. For he is the personification of supreme transcendental bliss, devoid of any conception of false ego. Nitai wanders about the town. This is his Guru Tattva behaviors. Going from door to door in the residences of the most fallen and wretched souls, he freely distributes the gift of Harinam Mahamantra. He exclaims to whomever he sees while holding straw between his teeth, "Please purchase me by worshipping Gaurahari." Saying this, Nityananda Prabhu rolls on the ground, appearing like a golden mountain, tumbling in the dust. Lochan Das Thakur says, whoever has not experienced the awakening of affection for such an avatar as this, that sinful person simply comes and goes uselessly in the cycle of repeated birth and death. He's a lover of Lord Nityananda. So, Guru Tattva topic, there are a number of references, needless to say, and we're going to be touching on some of them and then giving some examples. So, a nice start is Chaitanya Bhagavat. You see the reference. There's chapter 12 of Madhya Kanda. As the Supreme Jagat Guru, Sri Nityananda Prabhu alone is the origin of Guru Tattva. Very explicit reference. There's a whole section about this topic, but this is a nice quote. Nityananda Charitamrita by Vrindavan Das. There's an introductory section, and this is from there. The ultimate goal of life is the attainment of Krishna Prema. This is possible only by the mercy of Sadhu Guru. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is the sum total of all gurus, Samasti Guru. He is Guru Tattva. All individual gurus, Vyasti, are representations of Sri Nityananda. And Bhaktisiddhanta, in his eloquent way, in his Harmonist, here's the particular edition, 1931. This section is titled "The Manifestation of Guru in the Form of Sri Nityananda." So get ready for his elevated language. The Guru is the embodiment of the manifestation of the divinity, capital D, of the pure, receptive, spiritual essence of the disciple. Nityananda is the primary manifestive. Would you like a copy of this? Would you like a copy of this? How did I know? Nityananda is the primary manifestive constituent of the divinity. Nityananda alone possesses the distinctive function of the Guru. In Nityananda, the function is embodied. Nityananda is the servant God. He serves Sri Gaurasundara in the distinctive method of reverential service. He is identical with Sri Balaram of Krishna Lila. Sri Balaram is not the chum of Krishna, but his respected elder brother. It is an intimate relationship characterized by becoming reserved on the one side and of respectful deference on the other side. Individual souls are under the direction of Nityananda. They receive their service of Sri Gaurasundara, i.e., of Krishna, at his hands. So his Bhaktisiddhanta's language is, what's he saying here? It's like precise Sanskrit or something, only anglicized. Very, very sharp, distinct selection of language and the tense of the terms and so forth. It takes a while to assimilate. He's the embodiment of the manifestation of the divinity. Divinity with a capital D, meaning the Supreme. The embodiment of the manifestation of the divinity, of Krishna's expansion. As Balaram is Krishna's expansion, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's expansion is Nityananda. To the pure receptive spiritual essence of the disciple, that is, there's a relationship between guru and disciple, and he's that which the disciple may receive, that's from Nityananda, and he extends the spiritual essence of a qualified disciple. Spiritual essence. Nityananda is the primary manifestive constituent of the divinity. What does that mean? Primary manifestive constituent. Primary manifestive constituent. So divinity, that's the Supreme. And primary is this Guru Tattva principle. He is that Guru Tattva principle, the primary manifestive constituent. So in the spiritual potency of the Supreme is invested in Nityananda, who carries that spiritual potency and gives that spiritual potency to others on behalf of the Supreme, on behalf of Krishna, on behalf of Lord Chaitanya. That's the Guru function. Nityananda alone possesses the distinctive function of the Guru. In Nityananda, the function is embodied. Nityananda is the servant God. He serves. So, he serves means, that the paraphernalia, all the Ananta Shesha elements of paraphernalia and resting place and pillow and, everything. He is everything. He is everything, and he manifests himself as everything on his behalf. One of his 5 expansions, we heard this yesterday. He serves Sri Gaurasundar by the distinctive method of reverential servitude. He is identical with Sri Balaram of Krishna Lila. Sri Balaram is not the chum of Krishna. Little slang tossed into this elevated language. But his respected elder brother. It is an intimate relationship characterized by becoming reserved on the one hand and respectful deference on the other. So there's a formality, the reserved nature of a formality type of relationship. And then otherwise just being by deferring, because although he's the elder brother, and generally the younger brother defers to the elder brother, as the elder brother he defers to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Respectful deference. Individual souls are under the direction of Nityananda. They receive their service of Sri Gaurasundar at his hands. And there's more in the article, but this is the main part that's dealing with the service position. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adi Lila, chapter 17. Anyone who wants to cross the material ocean and merge in the ocean of devotional service must worship the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. And Bhaktisiddhanta's commentary, similar language. Nityananda Prabhu is the master of the transcendental kingdom. One who is conditioned by material existence cannot serve him with his gross or subtle bodies, but if by the causeless mercy of Nityananda Prabhu one is freed from the desire for material enjoyment, in other words, freed from the conception of I and mind related with the gross and subtle bodies, and one hankers to be merged in the ocean of service to the absolute truth, then he should simply serve Nityananda Prabhu with his body, mind, and speech to cross the ocean of material existence. Nityananda Swarup is the personified manifestation of Sri Chaitanya. So that's Lord Chaitanya's function, and he invests that function or the purposes of his existence in his expansion in Nityananda, and Nityananda carries it out in various ways. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adi Lila. So some examples, and I'll narrate a little bit. Most of you know the story already, the history of Jiva Goswami. The illustration is Nityananda showing, we mentioned this already, right? Yes? No? Yes. So, Hare Krishna. Got a front row seat. Look at this. Just move the instruments. We're okay. Okay, good. Is anybody new here, doesn't know, needs a little introduction to Jiva Goswami? Okay. 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 Jiva Goswami. Let me introduce you to Jiva Goswami. He's one of my favorites. Don't you, once you get started, it's hard to stop me, but you know who is Lord Chaitanya, and you know who the 6 Goswamis are, and he's one of the 6. Okay. So he, Jiva Goswami, was the nephew of, there were 3 brothers. The 3 brothers were the elder, Sanatan Goswami, and then next, Rupa Goswami, and then the 3rd brother was Anupam. Anupam was the 3rd brother. Anupam had a son, Jiva Goswami. Anupam, different than Rupa and Sanatan, he was a Ram Bhakta. And his son was brilliant, like super brilliant, like mega brilliant. And the father died when the son was young. Yeah, so it was sad. He died. The 2 elder brothers by that time had left their home and left everything to go be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's a nice story of how that unfolded. And so here's this young boy. When they had left, and then later his father died, and he's at home alone. And he, because his 2 uncles were deeply immersed in Lord Chaitanya, as a young boy, he wanted to go see the place of Lord Chaitanya's childhood pastimes in Mayapur. But he's a little boy, so, there's no transportation. He was walking to get from where he lived, Ramakeli, to just a several-day journey. And in the course of his several-day journey, Lord Nityananda, in the painting here, knew, because he's omniscient, he knew Jiva Goswami he wants to go to see the place of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. So he met with him along the path. And you greeted and received a nice exchange. And you want to go see the places of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes? I'll personally take you. And so he did. And together, the 2, Nityananda, this is his introduction, he introduced him to Lord Chaitanya's birthplace and the teachings and pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. What's in the painting is, in this discussion between Lord Nityananda and Jiva, Lord Nityananda described that one day, this big, tall edifice, a giant, tall mandir will appear. He didn't say when, but it will appear, rising into the sky, and that day will come. So let me take you to Mayapur. So they went to Mayapur and spent days and days and days, and he not only knew where the places were, he knew all the pastimes, and because he was a participant and omniscient. So Jiva got like an earful of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and his teachings. And then it was time for Jiva to go meet with his other uncles, Rupa and Sanatan. And the geography, a little bit the geography is like Mayapur is here, Vrindavan is way over here, and so to get from Mayapur to Vrindavan, it's a long journey. So he made a little stopover for like 15 years, where he got training in Sanskrit under Madhusudana Saraswati, if my memory is right. Huh? Vachaspati, excuse me. Vachaspati. And Madhusudana it's some history connect with history. He, Madhusudana Vachaspati, was previously in Jagannath Puri, which is way down here, but he was sent to go to this place where he was later going to be the teacher of Jiva Goswami. So he knew Madhusudana Vachaspati, he knew the scriptures, he knew Sanskrit, he knew A to Z. And he accepted as a student this young boy. And the young boy was capable of receiving everything. So assiduously, and even when he was a young boy, young student, he was writing. And because that's the kind of personality he was. And then after his studies were completed, Jiva Goswami went straight to Vrindavan. And then while he's in Vrindavan, he met Rupa and Sanatan. Rupa and Sanatan took care of him as their son, their brother's son, like their own son. Later, Jiva Goswami became a disciple of Rupa Goswami, and so forth and so on. And all the teachings of Rupa Goswami were then layered on top of everything else that he had learned from Madhusudana Vachaspati. But so the importance is the introduction to who is Lord Chaitanya and his life and his teachings came from Lord Nityananda. That was a Guru Tattva function, directly, personally. There's another pastime which we're going to spend tomorrow evening discussing in detail, and that is another one of the 6 Goswamis. His name was Raghunath Das. Nice name, Raghunath Das. Later became Raghunath Das Goswami. He was the son of one of the wealthiest families in India at the time. You know, like Rockefeller and Ford, or from India, Birla, and something. So super wealthy. His father and his uncle, and he was the only son. So in Vedic culture, the son inherits the wealth of the father. He inherits the debts of the father too. But his father didn't have debts, and his uncle didn't have debts. They had just lots and lots and lots of money. How they got lots and lots and lots of money? They served the Muslim king, the zamindar, the landholder, and they gathered taxes. And somehow they became wealthy. I don't know how that happens. Treasurers sometimes get wealthy. I don't know how that happens. Super wealthy. And they had every expectation that their son, Raghunath, would, take over their business and all their wealth and, be next in line. But he had zero or minus interest in anything to do with the wealth and the pomp and splendor and all that stuff. He just was very detached. So that was the beginning of his life. And then now we're going to go through a little bit of the story of his life. What happened? Oh, no, that's tomorrow. So a little bit of what happens tomorrow, today. he, by the mercy of Nityananda, that's what the message for today is. He got the association of Lord Chaitanya. We'll hear it tomorrow. He tried this, he tried that, he tried the other thing. He ran away. His father hired guards and caught him and brought him back, and this and that. Didn't work. He wanted to be with Lord Chaitanya, but he couldn't get away from home because his father would send guards, and so he finally, there's a series of events we'll hear tomorrow that he had the opportunity to get the mercy of Haridas Thakur, and then he got the opportunity to get the mercy directly of Lord Chaitanya, and he wanted to go with Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya told him, calm yourself. Don't be impulsive. In due course of externally behave like you're a worldly person, and internally you cultivate this spiritual aspiration that you have, and everything will be nice. There's details we'll hear tomorrow. So he did, and he went back home, and he demonstrated to his family he knew how to do worldly things without all the details. We'll hear the details tomorrow. But he had no taste for it. And then he tried again and tried again, and he couldn't get away. His parents got him married. A beautiful young wife, was not interested in stuff like that. So he then got this bright idea. The bright idea was he understood, not far away from here, where our family lives, Lord Nityananda is visiting a very nice devotee of Lord Chaitanya, Raghava Pandit, in Panihati. So it's the Panihati story. And so Nityananda, as we see in this painting, he was seated in the midst of many devotees by the side of the river Ganges, and Nityananda spoke to him, and he did some service for Nityananda, served the Vaishnavas. We'll hear tomorrow. And he then approached through Raghava Pandit, because he was humble. So he didn't go say Hari Bol. Is it not working? Closer? It's okay. Mistake. Okay. I'm sometimes told, put the microphone closer to your mouth, Maharaj. Okay. But you can all hear. It's not a big space. So, through Raghava Pandit, he approached Nityananda. So he had a go-between. And Raghava Pandit, the message was, somehow, please give me this opportunity. Please be merciful upon me, because without your mercy, Nityananda, I can't get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and I want the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, so give your mercy. And Lord Nityananda said, you've done such nice service. You fed all the Vaishnavas, and not only you fed all the Vaishnavas, but Lord Chaitanya personally came. Lord Chaitanya personally came, at least, in a spiritual form. He came and he accepted this nice offering, and so surely everything will be all right. Be patient. So he became patient. He was a little impatient, but he became patient. And then there's some detail we'll hear about tomorrow. The family guru, there's a whole connection between the guru because their parents were Vaishnavas, but, little materialistic on attached to their wealth kind of Vaishnavas. And they had a guru who was a very elevated person, And he deceived the guru to get away. And he got away, and he ran away and got to Lord Chaitanya's association by the mercy of Nityananda. And that's kind of a half-baked story, because tomorrow, if you come around tomorrow, we'll hear the whole, everything. But Lord Nityananda granted Raghunath Das the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For a total of 16 years, Raghunath Das stayed with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar in Jagannath Puri until Lord Chaitanya left this world. And then Raghunath Das, wanted to leave the world too, because he couldn't bear a separation. So he decided he would give up his life. But he wanted to give up his life in Vrindavan. That would be an auspicious place to give up your life. So he went to Vrindavan with a plan to do that. His mood was so heavy that when he met Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they forbid him. No, you can't do this. It's very nice. It's orchestrated by the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. So it goes something like this. We've been serving Lord Chaitanya in separation. You've been with him for 16 years? And you know all the details of his pastimes and his teachings and his ecstasies of love of Godhead, and you want to give up your life? No way. You stay here in Vrindavan, and every day you recite what you know, what you received from Swarup Damodar, every day for 3-4 hours every day. That's your service for the rest of your life. So for 45 years, that's what he did. And in the audience, hearing from him every day for 45 years, was the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And how did the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita know about Lord Chaitanya? He had never met him. From Raghunath Das, who was with Lord Chaitanya for 16 years. And when the crescendo or the peaking of Lord Chaitanya's ecstasies recorded in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and other things and other things and other things. So how did all that? Nityananda gets the credit because he made, by his blessings and the service and his placing his foot on the head of Raghunath Das, he became blessed with the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And another nice story, which we heard already. I have to say we're not going to hear it tomorrow because we heard it already. But in this painting, there's on the lower left, that's Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we heard this yesterday. His brother, Shama Das, was scolded by Krishnadas because a situation came, this is a quickie, situation came where a very nice, they were having a Sankirtan festival. Kirtan festival. Along with the Kirtan festival, there was a Brahmana doing deity worship over on the side, along with the Sankirtan. That's nice. And when Mini Ram, who is another Avaduta madman type of personality, he came in to the assembly when they were having kirtan, and all the kirtan performers seeing him, they paid their obeisances. They stopped the kirtan and paid their obeisances. And in a joking way, a transcendental, we don't imitate kind of a way, he got on the back of some of those people paying their obeisances. And some of the other people he hit with a stick, with his flute. Some of the other people he slapped mildly, in fun. And they were happy except for the pujari, the one worshiping the deity. and he didn't like it. And he didn't have faith in who's this Miniketen or Ram madman. So he just continued worshiping the deity. Anyway, so there's this pastime. His brother, Sham Das, took the side of Gundavarnava Mishra. So on the far left, that's Krishnadas Kaviraj, who later became the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He scolded his brother and the Brahmana and said, "You've offended a great personality, and you don't even recognize what you've done because of this disrespect. You're going to fall from your spiritual position." And according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, and they fell down abruptly. Doesn't say what they did, but they fell down. That night, Nityananda appeared in his dream, as you see from the painting. That's what the painting is, and waving his stick and jumping and dancing in the air, and he appreciated the good conduct of Krishnadas Kaviraj and said, this isn't a fit place for you. You can go to Vrindavan and take shelter in Vrindavan. And then he woke up. The dream broke. Nityananda disappeared. It was in the morning hour. He immediately got up and left and went to Vrindavan for the rest of his life. And that was the opportunity for him, Krishnadas, to hear about Lord Chaitanya. So again, Lord Nityananda, he's pointing with his gesturing with his hand, go to Vrindavan. He, Krishnadas, got the association of the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and got to hear for 45 years, he got to hear the details of Lord Chaitanya and his teachings and his pastimes and his ecstasies of love of God by the mercy of Nityananda. So these are three examples of Nityananda performing the Guru Tattva function, because the Guru Tattva function means you give Krishna, you give the personality of Godhead. Of course, the chanting of the holy name, in this little song that was sung, Lochan Das Thakur's song, he went door to door. He didn't have a particular plan or a modality of his strategy. He just was transcendentally enlivened to go here and go there and everywhere and with his associates and alone or whatever it was, and execute the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Wherever you go, whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna and encourage them to chant Hare Krishna. So that's what he did in an ecstatic love. And it was in such ecstasy, people were stunned to just see him and be with him. What to speak of then be inspired spiritually by his presence. So that's what Lord Nityananda did consistently in the Guru Tattva function. And it's not mandatory that you're an Avaduta to be a representative of Lord Nityananda. But as we heard in that song, the service to Krishna comes through Nityananda's mercy. And the association of Lord Chaitanya through the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So I thought I would put this question before all of you, before you start asking other questions. Can you think of some other examples where Nityananda was exhibiting that quality of giving Lord Chaitanya's mercy to others, and he did it in a very grand and celebrated way, as we pointed to these other ones, because there's some nice paintings that go along with those other pastimes. And
I was not here, but Jagai Madai.
Huh?
Jagai Madai.
Jagai Madai. Yeah. We narrated that one. That's correct. For those of you that may not know Jagai, you know Jagai Madhai? No. Okay. The situation is in the childhood pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, he was living like a scholar. He was born in a Brahmin family, so his occupation became a scholar of teaching grammar, because entrance into Sanskrit starts with grammar. It's like, ABC, grammar. But, he was so good that he had a lot of students. They really liked their teacher. Then something happened. The something that happened was, as is the custom or the practice, in honor of his father's departure, the decease of his father, he went to a place called Gaya. And there, in Gaya, there's the footprints of Lord Vishnu in a stone. And there he met his Diksha Guru, Ishwara Puri. So he saw Lord Vishnu's lotus feet. He received mantra from his guru, and he came back a changed man, young man. But he started becoming very interested in Krishna Bhakti and the chanting of the holy name. So his Sankirtan pastime began. And that's when Lord Nityananda came. We heard this already. Lord Nityananda was waiting in Vrindavan for Lord Chaitanya's pastimes of Sankirtan to begin, his pastimes as a devotee. Before he was like super scholar, now he's super devotee. So he came to Navadvip. And then together, he, Nityananda, and the devotees would have kirtan throughout the day, in the evenings. And then throughout the day, Lord Chaitanya had two devotees, Lord Nityananda and Haridas, to go here and there and induce people to chant. Then kirtan at night. That was their activity. So one fine day, Nityananda saw two drunken men named Jagai Madhai. In fact, the final evening, there's some prayers that Madhai offers to Nityananda and to Lord Chaitanya, and I've wanted to read those because they're really nice. But before they became drunkards, they were brahmanas. But something happened. They got bunked in the head or something, and they became debauch plunderers, because they didn't have the education to do some profession, so their profession became stealing. And, and so forth and so on. So really bad, degraded people, and always drunk, roaming the streets, and people saw them coming, and look out, here come these two drunkards. So Lord Chaitanya saw them, and he thought, hey, if they could become devotees, then the glories of Lord Chaitanya would be known by everybody. Even these two drunkards became devotees by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Let me try to induce them to chant too. But they were drunk. And they didn't respond very well. In fact, one of the two brothers, named Madhai, he picked up a clay pot from a shop and threw the clay pot and hit Lord Nityananda in the head. And blood came from his head and fell to the ground. Lord Chaitanya heard, what? They hurt Lord Nityananda? And immediately came ready to chop their head. His Sudarshan chakra manifested, and Lord Nityananda pleaded with Lord Chaitanya, don't do that. In this age of Kali, you've come to deliver the fallen souls, not to kill them. So be merciful. Forgive them for their misdeed. I'm okay. Forgive them and deliver them. Lord Chaitanya stopped and then spoke to the two brothers. Of the two, one of you tried to stop your brother when he was throwing the clay pot, so you're okay. But Madhai, you fall at Lord Nityananda's feet and beg his forgiveness, or else you're finished. So he did. He didn't have much of a choice. But he felt inspired and he surrendered. And wonderful prayers we'll hear. And so this is an example of Lord Nityananda in his Guru Tattva position, or exhibiting the characteristics of Guru, delivering Janghai Madhai, both Janghai and Madhai. So that's a nice example. Thank you. Say it again. Would you like to narrate what you're thinking?
Yeah, Vrindavan Das Thakur, as you were saying the other day, he lost his father when he was still in the womb of his mother.
When he was doing what?
When he was still in the womb of his mother, he lost his father, Vrindavan Das Thakur. And Vrindavan Das Thakur's mother is the sister of Srivas Pandit, I think. Yeah. Either way, so he grew up in Mamgachi, and Mahaprabhu had already taken sannyas by now, and so he was in Jagannath Puri. And Vrindavan Das Thakur also, like the other associates of Mahaprabhu, he heard from his uncle Vasudev Datta and Shivananda Sen about Lord Chaitanya, but he never met him. And so he was in deep separation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Lord Nityananda, he came, like he came to Jiva Goswami, and he took him in his lap, literally. And Lord Nityananda, he consoled him, and he took him in his shelter, and then he trained him, and etc. So that's what I was thinking.
Nice. Very nice. Anyone else? Wow, look at all the people back there. You must have some way of, you have a little screen, so you don't have to see this screen. You have a little computer or something like that? No, you're just hearing. Okay. Hi, hello, everybody. Any other examples or otherwise? Any comments or questions? Discussion? Ragatmika? Yeah, sure.
The personification of fire is Agni. The personification of wind is Vayu, etc., etc. There was a statement at the bottom of the screen that said Swarup Nityananda was the personified manifestation of Lord Chaitanya. But Lord Chaitanya is a person. So what does that mean? Personified manifestation.
Well, that means that he's also a person. As Lord Chaitanya is a person, Nityananda is also a person. He's a manifestation, but just add the adjective. He's not notional, it's a personified manifestation.
So he's a manifestation of, because he, just like Guru represents Krishna?
Yeah, but, personified, yeah. What's the difficulty?
I don't know. Just use of the word personified. It usually
you're stumbling over the word personified.
An inanimate object or something.
Nobody, as opposed to an inanimate object, he's a person.
Okay.
It's simple.
Okay.
Simple.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have a horse and a cart kind of question.
Which came first? Huh?
In this statement where it says, the condition by material existence cannot serve him, but we need his mercy. So, if this is causeless, how does connecting with him helps?
It's causeless. Meaning, there's no material cause. The cause, there's a cause, and that's mercy. But the mercy that's without material cause, just like, for everything material, there's a cause. Let's say the sun shines. There's a material cause. And then there's such a thing as the Brahmajyoti that shines without a cause. Or the effulgence from the body of Krishna, it shines without a cause. There's not a material cause behind the effect. So the mercy is an effect, and it's causeless mercy. Mercy without a cause, without a material cause.
But at this stage where material condition.
Huh? Sorry, they can't hear. You can't hear in the back. Pardon me. How did you know? They passed a little message. A little bird flew in the air and sat on your shoulder and said, okay. Now, are you okay with the causeless?
Yes, Maharaj. Just not able to serve him because I have conditional.
Yeah, that's the material cause.
But that's not going to go away right now.
But causeless mercy can take it away.
Okay.
What's the cause of that causeless mercy? Nothing. The mercifulness of the source.
Mm.
And what's the cause of that mercifulness of the source? There's no cause. That source is merciful. So you and me and those that are conditioned, back to the language here, one who is conditioned by material existence cannot serve him. But by the causeless mercy of Nityananda, one is freed. Okay, so what's the cause of Nityananda's mercy? No cause. No material cause. He's merciful. He gets bonked in the head by Madhai, and that's okay. Just chant Hare Krishna. Huh? But I just bonked you in the head. Caused your head to bleed. And there's Lord Chaitanya with his Sudarshan chakra to chop my head off. That's okay. He'll forgive you. Just chant Hare Krishna. What's that? There's no material cause. Causeless mercy. Or someone does something nice. Like Raghunath. He comes and please deliver me. Let me put my foot on your head. What are you doing? You're standing at a distance. What's going on? You do some service. You feed all the Vaishnavas. Sponsor the Sunday feast. That's mercy. But it looks otherwise, because he put his foot on his head and scolded him. But it's merciful. Okay?
Thank you.
Oh, those of you that can't hear or see back there. Any comments or questions? Okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, I was thinking that so with the mercy of Guru we get Krishna. That's the scriptures say. But initially, for someone who's knew it's only by the mercy of Krishna they get Guru. So can you speak a little bit about that?
Sure, it's a good team.
So I was thinking that the Guru Tattva comes later. Krishna still comes first though.
Oh, come on. Give me a break. This comes, this is the chicken and the egg question. Which comes first? The age at the doorway, so let's, here's a door. Most of us came through that door to get in here. Most of us will go out that door to go to wherever we're going to next. But we existed before we came through that door. And here we are. So what's the cause of our existing here? What's the cause of Krishna being present in one's life? There's a passageway, and it's a flow of mercy. What's the cause of the flow of mercy? Which comes first? Question again. One can say, in sequence, first comes the mercy of Guru, because this is Guru Tattva topic. That's our topic for today. By the mercy of Guru, one may be introduced to the personality of Godhead, who the Guru is representing. Now, Krishna is in our heart. We don't need Guru to put Krishna in our heart, because Krishna is in our heart. But forgetfulness covers that knowledge. But supposing it's one of us, at least was enough pious, that there was some inkling of the kingdom of God is within you, from the Bible. Kingdom of God is within you. So there are different backgrounds that each of us have come from, but some kind of conception. But what does that mean? Fair to partly cloudy. There's sun in the sky, but there's clouds, and I can't really tell exactly what the sun is, but there's sun in the sky. So then comes Guru. So that it's not something that wasn't there. It's just something that becomes more clear through the medium. And then the Guru gives more than just, the clarity. They give the process of approaching. That's what this nice prayer said, that Jagatananda is saying. One gets the opportunity to serve. And through the medium of service, further purification, further clarification, further realization. So what's the starting point? Krishna is within the heart. Chaita Guru is there, and Chaita Guru may prompt you. Over there's, I had lunch today with Brahmatirtha. It was nice. I mean, he's a wonderful devotee. But, how did he know? I mean, he gave this whole story of how he became a Peace Corps worker, and he had this dreamy idea. But he found it was in Bihar. It was not nice. That's where he was placed. And then, it's not far from Bihar was Calcutta. So he took a train and went to Calcutta. It was not nice. So one time he was wandering through Calcutta, and he came across a Hare Krishna festival, and there was a devotee who was speaking something that was so clear to him, like, this is it. This is what I'm looking for. The dream that I would find by going to mystical India. I was just finding a place that was broken in Bihar and places in Calcutta. It's not nice at all. His dream bubble burst. So there was a notion, fair to partly cloudy. But then, somebody, it was Giriraj Maharaj who was speaking at a Pandal program. And just by hearing, it was like, wow, that's what I'm looking for. So he's not Guru, but he's representing Guru. So Adau Shraddha, and what's that Shraddha, what's that faith resting upon? Deep inside, somewhere in there, there's got to be something other than madness. There's a higher truth. There's a higher reality. I don't know what it is, but I want to know what it is. Then where does that faith come from? It comes from Supersoul. Where does anything, that one has? Ignorance comes from Supersoul. Forgetfulness, knowledge. So this is the which comes first question, which you're asking. So it's by mercy. And which mercy comes first? That's the question. Who's the source of it? You can say definitively, Krishna is the source of everything. Everything starts with Krishna because he's the source of everything. Full stop. And then Krishna has representatives, like Guru Tattva representatives. His expansion, who is as eternal as Krishna is. And the Guru Tattva embodied personality presents, here's Krishna. So who came first? The source of everything comes first. But we're fairly partly cloudy. There's a zillion different ideas out there, and as Kali Yuga advances, new ones.
Krishna in the heart is giving due to some agyat sukriti, giving the impetus to go and meet a guru who's also a representative of Krishna.
Yes, yeah. Go to Calcutta and go to Hare Krishna festival. In Brahmatirtha's case. But, he and his wife had some faith. They grew up in a different tradition than Krishna. But, intrinsic. Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I think it was that very first song about Akrodha Nityananda. He never gets angry.
Yeah.
I was wondering about the presence of anger within our own hearts and whether that keeps Lord Nityananda far away when we allow.
Well, it sounds like you're answering your own question.
Well, I know there are places where anger is appropriate.
Yeah. When the Lord or a devotee, just like Krishna Das, scolded his brother, and Nityananda, rewarded him.
Yeah.
It's inappropriate, but it's not the material. It's spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So there is such a thing as spiritual everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's such thing as a material everything. Anything you can think of.
But that I and mine, or the I and me,
Yeah.
why they dare? How dare they?
Okay. Nanda, can you enlighten us with some nice words of whatever you want to do? Sadhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, all the nice words have come from you. We're very grateful to be able to hear them. But Lord Nityananda, his pastimes are often very mysterious, aren't they? That's all I have to say. Because even I was thinking, as Bhagavati was talking about Akrodha Nityananda, personally I thought she was going to say, yes, but there are some times that he did get angry. So what is that contradiction? That's where I thought you were going.
Well, then there's material and spiritual. And then, so the definitions of things are important. That there's a notion, but when he would become, he kicked Shivananda Sen in the chest. because he was late. And Nityananda was hungry. So he kicked him in the chest. But it was benediction. It wasn't, that material kind of anger. It was different. It was transcendental.
Yes, but those very activities of the Avadut Nityananda make it very
mysterious.
A challenge to understand, because here he is personified guru.
Yeah.
And he's doing
Gurus
quite
don't
unusual
kick people in the
things
chest.
that people might want to imitate and think, well, Haribol, I don't want to imitate it. Somebody might.
I knew you'd say something nice.
But even in modern day, our modern day ISKCON society, oftentimes there are unusual things that go on, and you get bewildered as to where you're supposed to put your head. Should we try to correct this, or am I not seeing it properly, or is it someone so advanced that this, and sometimes misdeeds go on for quite some time without the
Guiding.
Yeah.
Somebody asked a question. This one fellow asked a question twice. The one that was a Mridanga player the other day. How do you tell somebody who's an Avaduta and somebody that's like, cuckoo?
Yeah.
There he is. And you asked the question twice. I was thinking, similar to her question, Prabhupada's answer, two things. Prabhupada's answer is it takes intelligence. And if you don't have intelligence, then you can't discern. And if you take an action, if you don't have intelligence, then you're as foolish as the person who's doing something foolish. So, therefore, purify one's own intelligence so you can discern properly. And then, if you don't have that discerning capacity, better to err on the side of caution than to angels rush in, or fools rush in where angels fear to tread. So be cautious. And if you're going to be correct, be really sure that you're correct. Because, these things go on without, this example, that example, the other example. And it's like contemporary. It's not like some years ago there was something and all that's gone now because everyone's smiling and getting along just fine. It's not like that. And people that have, I won't go there. Brahmatirtha was sharing something with me today. He has been requested by the GBC to deal with an issue that I thought was long gone, and it's not long gone. The poison issue. And he had described, what he did, and he's going to make a presentation to the GBC in a couple of days, and and, it's very compelling. One of the things, just because it's, he's a discerning person. So, on the topic of poison and hair samples that had some arsenic in it. So he, Brahmatirtha, had some donors that are two accused gurus or disciples of gurus. So he went to like the number one guy in toxology is something. And he's like, he's above everybody who's above everybody who's above everybody. And when they went to the guy said, on one condition, you don't tell me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And I don't want anybody, steering me. That's it. And if you don't want that, then You don't want me. He's like, so the guy looked, he accepted, he gave some fees, and so his conclusion, this is Brahmatirtha to me today, this afternoon in Gainesville. These people that are saying this, they should be severely punished. And I'll put it in writing. What's the findings? And then he said, if you want, I'll go on film and say it on film. I'm putting my reputation on the line because this is really bad what they're doing. It's something like that. I mean, not exactly his words, but something in that direction. Like, whoa. So there's somebody that has a certain capacity, as opposed to blah blah blah, and this side and that side, and there's other examples. So if you don't know, is it possible? And one can say, if it's a sense which side of the fence you're on. If you want to, I don't know, you want to be a basher, a guru, a Vaishnava basher, you can go ahead and bash people. But some of the rest of us don't want to do that. Then comes your question: what should you do when stuff goes on like that? You give it to a discerning person, and they'll know how to put it to rest. And when it's put to rest, do you think the other side is going to say, now it's to rest? No way. But at least you know. At least you know.
Yeah.
At least you know. My discerning capacity isn't what this toxology specialist knows. But I hear, and he, his attitude from hearing from Brahmatirtha, his attitude was one condition: don't tell me what to do and how to do it. Don't steer me. Precondition. Because he's been there, he's been through that, so he doesn't want to do that. And now he's like fire. So that's compelling. What do I know about toxology? Nothing. I can say an opinion. So if you don't know, you don't say. But those that know can say.
Thank you for that. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
There's more. We'll hear some more as we go forward. Yes.
I don't know everybody how they took it when Nityananda Prabhu, you are repeating the same pastime. Other day I heard also today, when he kicked Sivananda Sen. But what about Srikanta, his nephew? He didn't take it. He didn't take it as a mercy. Sivananda Sen told his wife, this is a mercy. That's how he...
his
But
wife.
Srikanta didn't take it. He went to Jagannath Puri. That was more than 100 miles. And he walked and ran. I don't know how he made it, but he made it. But Lord Chaitanya did not say anything except he said to Govinda, please take care of him, give him a place to stay,
He's got a
give
hot
him
temper.
prasadam, he is disturbed. He did not accuse anybody whether it's a fault of Nityananda or he is right or who is wrong, nothing. He said his mind is disturbed, give him facility, take care of him. That's it. No other discussion about it.
Got it. Don't need to say it another time. Got it.
I thought there are some devotee like this also should act like that.
Well, that's prudent. But if the one who has discerning capacity, he'll know when he should say something and when he should not say something. And if you don't have a discerning capacity, Lord Chaitanya certainly did, but some persons don't. And then they put their foot in their mouth. So that's it's immature. It's not respectful and mature. It's not behavior that's of a mature person.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
I have one verse in 6.48 Adilila. It says, why Nityananda Prabhu act like this Avadut? It says, Garanger Nityananda Avadut Sabate Agal, Goranger Dasharase Hoilo Pagal. He's a madman. Pagal means crazy. Advaita Acharya also sent that sonnet. You are a madman. You made everybody mad.
Yeah.
So, now is the time you can go. That sonnet. So Nityananda Prabhu acting, according to that verse, acting, it is not that he is acting. It is that serving to Lord Chaitanya in that Dasharas, causing him to act like this. It's not like he is trying to act. It's naturally he is mad in ecstasy. Not that he is trying to act in ecstasy. This is the service attitude. Nityananda, yes. Anybody develop that service attitude and serve, they will experience this.
Well, not everyone's going to do like that. I mean, certain persons will, but not everybody's going to do like that. Be careful, because then you'll have people doing weird stuff. You want to add to this?
Backup question. So, the rasa and the playfulness of Lord Nityananda's Avadhuta, that can serve as an example of how we can interact with the Ladini Shakti.
How we can do what?
Interact with the Ladini Shakti.
Well, the spectrum is very wide, and he's in a certain part of the spectrum, and it just doesn't fit everybody. It's not a sign of someone that's spontaneous, does weird stuff, or behaves in non-social, without social convention, just because they have extreme love. So it may or may not, depending upon circumstance and inspiration from Krishna. But in Nityananda's case, fine. Krishna had him, and he did. That answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think we're going to end. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.